my regular. I'm talking. Takes fulfilling. Takes fulfilling. Way better. Takes my regular. I'm talking.
What's up, universe? It's your girl Sade, and I'm back again with another studio vlog. I feel like I haven't done one of these in a long time, or well, recorded myself doing art in quite a long time. If you are new here, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, the bell, so you know exactly when I post new videos. And if you're returning, thank you so much for your continued support. You're truly appreciated, whether you know it or not. I truly appreciate each and every one of you that watch my videos, the ones that comment, the ones that find me on Instagram, really. If you're returning and you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell button as well. You can find me on Instagram, link down below, at Shade'sUniverse_, and my art page at Naija Ninja Shade. So this piece is titled Thunderbolts and Lightning. I'm using my Strathmore mixed media sketchbook and acrylic paint, I believe by Artist Loft, and just a slew of different paintbrushes. I pick up paintbrushes from different craft stores as well as from Amazon. So my inspiration for this piece, I would say, would have been God and Women. This is actually the first of a mini series that I'm doing. I've done the second, which will be out soon, so stay tuned for that. But the reason why I did this piece was somewhat of a display of women and the power that women hold. For a long time in documented human history, women have been somewhat perceived as objects, just these beautiful bodies that offer little to nothing aside from beauty and pleasure. This perception of women has greatly affected women and our progression, how we think, how we view ourselves, how we view each other, how we treat each other as fellow women. And due to society and systematic oppression, black women have unfortunately received the short end of the stick on various occasions, even though it's black women who have shown up and showed out for literally everyone. Especially during civil rights movements in America, black women have been the front end and the rear of so many of these movements and things that are designed and created to give people freedom and equality. Women have been outcasted, pushed aside, put second place, and thank God that a window in heaven has opened which allows women to do so much more than ever historically possible. But even up until now, women are still somewhat perceived as objects by men. Due to the oppression and blatant disregard, corruption, and covering up of history, people have forgotten where they come from. People have forgotten who their ancestors were. People have forgotten that they are from kings and queens, that their lineage is royalty, and their blood holds strength, power, talents, and gifts from God. With the diaspora of African American people, it has been very difficult, especially for black women, to find their place in society. However, by the grace of God, we have persevered greatly and immensely. And that's something that I want people to take note of, and I want people to recognize that God has really been at the forefront. I believe that God has used what we've gone through as black women and people of color in general to strengthen us mentally, physically, and spiritually. People have misconstrued the Bible over hundreds and thousands of years in order to convey the false doctrine that God cares less about women than he does men, which is total rubbish. If you look at the stories of women in the Bible, though they may be seldom, they are there, and you can see how God intervenes in the lives of women versus the lives of men. Just look at the first story in the Bible, Adam and Eve. It was Eve that disobeyed God first. However, it was Adam that got the brunt end of the punishment, if you paid attention. God is often very delicate in the way he treats women in the Bible. He's very favorable upon women, and unfortunately this side of God's nature is lost with people's corruption and twisted views of his nature. Just look at the way he has designed women. He made us so overtly beautiful and powerful. He blessed us with a plethora of talents and abilities and intelligence and a way of movement and thinking that unfortunately many men do not possess naturally. And that may be due to a lot of society's teachings as well. God blessed women with a special type of reverence, honor, beauty, and glory. And that speaks true to his own nature, as he is an emotional being, so are we. God shows his emotion throughout the Bible without question. Just look at the story of Ruth in the Bible. God showed Ruth so much favor, even though she was from a different land and she used to worship different gods. She was married to a man that was the son of a woman named Naomi, who was originally from the land of Judah. And when her husband died, and Naomi was returning back to Judah because she heard of how the Lord was blessing people in Judah, blessing his people. So Naomi wanted to go back, and she at first told both Ruth and Orpah, Ruth's sister, to go back with her. Halfway along the way, she turned them both back. However, Ruth stuck with Naomi, and she was determined, and I believe that was the Spirit of God drawing her to come to Judah. Once she arrived, God showed her tremendous favor, even prior to her knowing who God was, because remember, she came from a different land who worshiped different gods. Ruth started to work in a field owned by a man named Boaz in order to gather and harvest grain for food for her family. The book of Ruth emphasizes how God showed her so much favor, and the reason being is because, like I said, Ruth used to worship idols, but when she came to Judah, she abandoned those idols and instead turned her life over and began to worship the one and only true God. But even prior to her giving her life to the Lord, he showed her favor because he could see her heart and her heart's intentions. I believe that is one of many reasons God has shown us so much favor. I mean, look at black women now. We're surpassing milestone after milestone, getting recognition because we're understanding that we have value. We're seeing our value. We're recognizing it within ourselves and within each other. So I suppose I want to use this piece in order to display that or showcase that power, that abundance and blessing and favor, that unique cosmic-like quality that I see in black women. And I hope that this brings inspiration to whomever sees it. I hope it says something to you. I hope you are able to see what it is I'm trying to display through this piece and all of my pieces. Really is one thing as an artist, you always hope that people understand what it is you're trying to depict, because art comes from your soul, it comes from your inside, it comes from your heart, and it's quite difficult to perfectly display or relay what it is you feel in your heart, in your soul at times. I want to mention on screen it looks somewhat black, but the color mixture I'm using is a deep chocolatey brown color. It's quite beautiful, and I picked this mix or made this mix specifically because it represents black beauty. You don't see them now, but you'll see them later in the video. But I've gone and drawn stars and constellations, thunderbolts and lightning in order to display the utter uniqueness, beauty and magic that is within blackness. I believe God made us the way He did on purpose. He made us colorful, unique, inside and outside, because we're supposed to be exemplifying His personality. The reason why there's so many different people in the world, and so many people in the world that we cannot properly count or keep track, we're all supposed to be representations of who God is. We're supposed to be unique. We're supposed to be different. We're supposed to be weird. We're supposed to have the shape of bodies that we have. We're supposed to have the shape of personalities that we have that are good, not, don't get it twisted and think that you doing evil or sinning is supposed to exemplify God's nature, because that is the opposite of God's nature. He has no bad bone in His body. So when I say that, I specifically mean the goodness of God. And you'll see throughout this series, but that is one reason why I've gone and made the bodies quite different in shape, quite different than what you will typically see, just because I want it to be representative of the different types of figures and shapes that Black women have. Black women are very curvy, Black women are very thick and voluptuous, and so I want to display that in my artwork as well, but also not make it pornographic either. And that's definitely not any shade if you do show more of the body in your pieces, because I have as well in other pieces. Just this specific series, I wanted it to be a bit more subtle and just the way that I've done it. Women in general are so powerful. We are such beautiful, strong, intelligent beings, and no one can take that away from you. No one on this earth can take that away from you, because that is something that God Himself has bestowed upon me and you as a woman. And if God already said it, then there's no being on this planet, any universe that can oppose that. Be proud of who you are. Be confident in who you are. Be confident in your ability. Be confident in your beauty. Be confident in your intellect. Be confident in your spirituality. Be confident in your body. Be confident in your happiness. Be confident in your life, wherever it is that you stand in your journey, on your path. Be confident, be bold, be courageous, and be trusting of the Lord, because He is the one who will get you through every and anything. He is the one who's gotten you through every and anything that you have gone through, and He will continue to allow you to persevere so long as you trust in Him and keep Him first place in your life. If you're a man watching this, don't think that I'm trying to throw shade, because I'm not. Men are awesome as well, but this is specifically for women, so chill and instead listen to what I've said in this video and give a compliment to the next woman that you see. Think about the women in your own life and how you treat them. Do you treat them with respect? Do you treat them as mediocre, as second best? Do you question their skill or emotion just because they're women? To my fellow women, you've got to stop beating each other down. We get enough of that, honestly. We need to lift each other up as women. We need to empower each other. We need to stand for each other. You see another girl and you think she's pretty, tell her she's beautiful. It doesn't take anything away from your own beauty. If you see a girl, you love her shoes, tell her you love her shoes. Tell her you love her hair. Tell her you're doing amazing if you see her doing her thing. Whatever it is, give compliments, give praise to each other, lift each other up. That's what we should be doing as women, as humans in general, especially as women. And for non-POC women, you need to be inclusive and aware that the plights of POC women, especially Black women, are vastly different from that of non-POC women. And those oppressions, plights, trials, struggles need to be addressed and fought for as well, and most importantly, understood. So with that, I will leave you all here. I hope you enjoy the rest of the video, enjoy the music, the serenity, the calm, peace, frequency and energy that I'm putting out with this video, and I will check in with you guys at the end of the video. As we're nearing the end of this video, I just want to go ahead and say quickly, women out there, again, trust in the Lord and walk in your purpose. Be bold, be courageous, be confident and proud of who you are and who God created you to be. Share this with any other women you believe would benefit from this video. Share this with anyone else you believe would benefit from this video, man or woman, whatever. And give it a like if you love it. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you follow me on Instagram. Again, my links are in the description box down below, as well as other videos and tidbits about myself. I hope you're all having a lovely, fabulous day. God bless, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye! Mwah. Thank you.